My name is Osei. We're starting Felsbrunn on starting from scratch. And here we are. So, first buy stuff. So let's have a look how much money we have. Money. We have 500,000 money, no loans. And it thinks I should buy some land. Let's check the land. That's very expensive land. Also expensive land. That's kind of cheaper land. There's no way I can afford to build a house there. Tiny field too. It's over half my money. That's less than half my money, but the field is slightly bigger than 20, but not significantly. It's 28. 100,000, 29, 128,000. 20 is 181,000. Or do I just want to skip? Oh, there's land up there too. Something there, there's something. That's expensive. Not so expensive. That's a sawmill. Okay. That's 300. 285, that's 378. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is going to be expensive. 7 is also expensive. 8's a good size, expensive. 9 is cheaper. But big. 9 is 291. It only leaves me with what? 210,000. That no chance. 11 possible. Kind of thinking 9 at this stage. 16 is way too expensive. 25 is not. 17, 19, 20. You can buy the store. 31 and you buy the shop. 223. I'm still thinking 9. Or not buy anything initially. Okay. Let's back up. What's 9 got on it? Seriously, potatoes. 20 is sugar beets. 19 looks like potatoes too. So maybe not 9. 8 is corn. How much was 8? 8 was 500. No, 331. 4 is 472. No money for anything else. I want to know what that is though. Okay, let's buy a truck and go driving. Cars. Old pickup and why isn't that working? Let's refresh. Okay, that is working. It's not a bad colour. It's okay. Okay, I'm going to go with a red truck. Bye. Yes. Okay. Escape. 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 And let's jump to my truck. So I want to go up and look at field 4. Which I believe is up this way. Turn in there, that's the gas station. Hey Simos, how you doing? And I just knocked over a thing. Oh well. Bad driving. Guessing that's the train line up there. Oh, and that's a big giant rock in the road. On the pavement, that footpath that I'm trying to drive on. I'm not drinking and driving, I'm just not looking at where I'm going. I've not driven this thing before. A little bit more concentration, plus the mouse isn't centered on it. Whoa. There's a lot of water around here. Okay, here we are. Go. Oh, round 3 and then down to 4. Oh, green. That looks interesting. So that's the sawmill. And over here is number 4. Field 4. Oh, there's something already here. What is this thing? And there's cotton on 4, so I don't want to buy 4. Buying 4 would be a bad plan. Get out and walk around. Some sort of villa with a bunch of cars in the parking lot. Guest house, maybe? Okay. So, not a potential location for farm buildings. Indeed. Then, in fact, I mean, they all are really nice looking maps. I've been driving around Ravenport as my private farm, and there are some really nice views. That's a nice looking clump of trees over there. Map. A clump of trees is there. Oh, that's a big piece of land that I can't afford. So I think that might have been grass. Nope, that's barley maybe? That's oats. That's barley, that's wheat. So difficult to tell. No. That looks closer to potatoes. Don't want potatoes. Oh, yeah. That's barley. Field 2 is barley. Although 30 looks the same colour as that one. I'm so confused. Okay, let's not do any of those. Let's see what we've got in the way of jobs, missions, contracts, that thing. Fertilising. Field 2 needs to be fertilised and I don't have any equipment, so let's lease some. And back. Let's put the car on the side of the road, like here. And let's go and jump into a tractor. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, didn't think of that. Okay, I believe they gave me a weight. We'll put that on the front of the tractor first, and then we'll go and park in front of the thing. Then we have to buy the fertilizer. Turn, turn, turn. Purchase a tank of solid fertilizer. How many do I need? That's expensive stuff. Well, it's a bad form to run out before you finish the job. Close enough to fill that one. Oh, one on each side. That's nice. So my plan here is really just to start off with doing some contracts and making some money that way. So field 2. We need to drive a long way up here. So it's pretty much the same trip we just took. And we probably won't run into as many street signs in this because it doesn't go as fast as the truck. Oh, cement truck. So we have different vehicles driving around. They're not all SUVs and cars. Okay, right hand turn just up ahead. Do not take out the signs on the island. Okay, that's the gas station. There's the signpost I knocked over. Yeah, sometimes it's not easy. You get used to it eventually, but initially it's not necessarily easy to tell the difference between the crops by colour. And in that situation, I'm looking at those crops and I can't really tell whether it's barley or potatoes in the field. And yet there's sort of browner fields that are definitely barley, and there's sort of lighter fields which are definitely potatoes, and that brown seems to fall in the middle. I'm wondering whether it's sort of a fool by the light because you know, one of the fields is surrounded by lots of different colours, and you know how you can have some of those optical illusions where there's a black side and a white side, and then yellows that are the same colour, but the yellow on the dark side looks brighter than the yellow on the white side, but they're really the same shade of yellow. I'm wondering if it's a sort of that sort of optical illusion on those fields. Come on, little tractor. Actually didn't notice what model of tractor this was. I'm not going to look at it now because I'll probably end up in the river. Something stupid like that. Keep away from the crash barrier. And what I might then do once I've finished a few contracts is buy a small tractor with a front loader and forks and a flatbed trailer and do some transport jobs in that. Because they don't lease out equipment for transport jobs, they expect you to be able to provide it. And I think with transport jobs they pay you more. The more you do for an individual. Might be the more you do, but definitely for an individual. So we are here. What does this field have on it? This field has barley. So this is barley. That doesn't look like potatoes. It really doesn't look like potatoes. I'm going to walk over there and check. Excuse me while I just abandon this tractor. This is grass. Okay. I like that field then. 3 might be a good field to buy. Because we could buy tractors and mowing gear and bale it. So what am I doing? I am one end only. Okay. I need to zoom out a bit to check the spread on this. That's a big spread. Okay. That's counting down rather rapidly. Gonna probably, if I buy field 3, I'm gonna probably need a tractor with front 3-point and a bale trailer. So how are we doing? That was 150 by the length of that field. Okay. About there, and off we go again. The reason I bought 2 bags was because I didn't want to end up with oh, I don't have enough, let's go buy some more, and we get refunded for any that we don't use if we leave it in the spreader. Although I have a feeling I could probably unload the spreader. and keep the fertilizer I've already bought. That way, if I have to fertilize another field, I can lease the equipment and use the fertilizer I've already purchased. But we'll see about that. Turn around here, turn around about there-ish. And certainly looks like we'll probably end up using less than 1,000, by quite a bit. Now I don't know if field 3, if grass suffers from weeds. Strip on the end. Watch out for the message. I'd usually do something with my own equipment, something like this with my own equipment, except I don't have any. Come on, tell me we're done. There we go. I can turn that off. So in theory, let's see. Let's run over to field 3 and drop off the fertilizer from this. That's a long way away. Okay. Escape contract. Lease cost minus 800. So we got a little bit of money. Harvesting field 5. Possible. Fertilizing field 13. 18 even, and 33. Let me guess, 18 is over here. 33 is way over there. We have to start from the store every time. Well, at least we got some fertilizer here. Let's buy that plot of land before anything happens to it. Okay, we got that. Let's let's buy some small equipment. First things first, we want a spreader. Spreader. That's 20,000. Takes 3,200. 20,000. How much money have we got? 64. This is difficult. Back. Mowers. So something like that's 19,000. Needs 70 horsepower tractor. 19. Okay. That's 49. Call it 50, so we're at 60,000 so far. Oh, nope, back. 60,000. That's 100,000. I would need a tractor less than now. Keep clicking the wrong button. How much for a tedder? No, tedders aren't there. Tedders are there. Tiny tedder. I'm still looking at a $60,000 tractor. Still learning my way around. Small tractors, the Fiat or the Hurleyman. The Hurleyman has 90 horsepower. That's enough to run that baler. I could get a Hurleyman. I pretty much couldn't get much in the way of anything else. What can you fit to a Hurleyman? Wheels. Narrow and standard wheels. Okay, so I think I don't have to worry too much about the state of this field right now. It reckons it needs ploughing. That's bad because I don't want to have to plough it. Where's my truck? There's a train, there's a truck. Okay. I might have messed up here. We're going to stick the truck on the field too. So, this time, put that there. I'll get the contracts for fertilising again. This one pays more, so we'll do that way. It's also closer to the store. So, here we are with the Case Puma. Guessing 185 horsepower. I presume we have a weight. Yep. Tucked in tight. So this time I'm only going to buy one pallet of, say, fertiliser. Oh, jeez. Sorry, trailer. I like how they put narrow tyres on the tractor, but big tyres on the fertiliser. Escape, load. Well, I have chickens on Estancia La Pacha, but I'm not happy that we have to plough that grass field because that's going to reduce the yield. But grass is down permanent, so you can mow a grass field multiple times. Now the other option is, rather than bale it, I could just buy a loading wagon. So I could get a mower and a loading wagon and a tractor that's sufficient power to haul both, and that would be sufficient for the job at hand. So here we are at field 18. So yeah, these have big wide wheels on them. There is an option for narrow wheels on that spreader, but it only seems to worry about me having narrow wheels on the tractor. Okay, because I pushed the wrong button. Let's turn around, go back to the start of the field and try that one again. So, press the correct button. Yep. Oops. Wasn't expecting that. There we go. field's partially grown. It's hard to see. Oh, well over there. Okay, so no baling technology at this point. We'll get a loading wagon, we'll get a tractor, we'll get a mower. We can then mow the grass, take it to the barn. I'm not going to worry about tedding it or anything like that. We'll just sell the raw grass initially. Then as it grows more, we can enhance our equipment, get some hay, get a tedder, get a baler, get the bale trailer. So obviously the bale trailer can take 48,000 litres. 48,000, yes. 12 bales at 4,000 each. Small loading wagons are a lot less than that. Turn around there, come up this way, and turn that on. And we're nearly out. Come on, give me a message. All done. I must have left some large holes in that coverage. Oh, there we go, just in time. So, saving content. So that's how much fertilizer I have left, about 600, so I get 896 reimbursement for letting them keep that. And then finally we have 33. Oh, and they want us to do it with the liquid sprayer. That's nice. Okay, Sophie, I'm going to do yours as well. That's the train, that's the truck, there's the tractor. Now the liquid spreader uses far more, or the pallets are substantially bigger. So the money they give me, the money they're paying me for this contract isn't enough for me up front to buy the fertilizer. As I said, normally I do this sort of thing with this setup, but with my own stuff. So fertilizer tanks 2400. That's a lot. Load that up. So how much are we getting paid for this? 1700. Yeah. And how do we get to 33? Left out the shop, round the roundabout, to the opposite side, and then run along the coast. That's going to be picturesque. That's nice. Okay, we're loaded. Let's go. Yes, I did some on-law folds yesterday morning with the kids in the house, so there was a lot of noise in the background. Video saved, so you can watch it. I will be doing law folds round about 8-9 o'clock on Saturday mornings. Yesterday, law folds was all about spraying the fields. I put the time up to, I think, about ×5, ×15. and got 4 of the fields done. And then I think there's about 2 more fields left to fertilise, and then we'll be we've got to burn a couple of days in order to get to the planting season for corn and soybeans, so you can only part those. Oh, good. How much is it? Is 17 now? Kind of figured it's the best time to buy, because obviously the new support is for 19. $10. Whoa! £10, so that's about $15. Okay, 33 coming up ahead. Of course, oops, it might be a picturesque trip, but I wasn't looking. Oh, there's a boat. Okay. Ooh. Stop. Yeah, I would kind of suggest, since Farm Sim 17 or 19 is in its first weeks of production, you're probably going to wonder what. Having seen it, if you're undecided, I'd probably wait a couple of weeks for them to fix stuff with it. Okay, let's go. But I'm enjoying it at the moment. Today we're doing a starting from scratch. So I had $500,000. Should be euros. So we can't afford much in the way of anything. Really can't tell where we've sprayed on this. Going to guess about there, maybe. Now I have to look straight ahead. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, give it a couple of weeks and they should have ironed out the most serious of the bugs. And then after that, it's a matter of waiting for the mods to come in with British maps. I know someone has copied Chellington from Farm Sim 17 over to 19, but I do not think he has the permission of the original map creator. Which is not a good thing. You really want to support the people who make the maps themselves rather than people who just copy them without permission. I mean, for example, the AR frame pack, the truck pack I use on Lawfolds, that's produced by GTX Mods, or at least it was for Farm Sim 17, but it was originally produced by somebody else for Farm Sim 15, but they went out and asked the guy who originally produced the pack, is it okay if we port this over to Farm Sim 17? Because you're not doing mods anymore. And he said, sure, yeah, knock yourself out. So using that, they put a disclaimer on their website saying we got permission from the original writer to port this across, and they still had to do a fair amount of work on Farm Sim 17 to get it working. But there are a whole host of other people who just copied mods from 15 to 17 without asking permission of the original modders, and then sometimes what happens is the original modders turn around and say, well, I don't, I'm not out for that, and so I'm done with modding because I don't like my mods being stolen by other people, which is effectively what it is. Now, they don't get paid for it, but they'll put it out on their website, and you go and visit their website and download it, and they get a small amount of credit from their advertisers on their website. So they do make a little bit of money off you, plus some people donate to keep them in business. Oh, 19 has some very nice features, yes. I think I've seriously overlapped this. Could probably have done that in 2 trips rather than just the 1.5. Oh well, we're going to have to turn around and go back at least half the way. So in general, I'm liking the changes they've made for 19. Obviously, not making as much money as quickly as before means you're going to have to invest more time. You know, it's not going to be hey, 3 weeks, I've got $1 million, let's move on to something else. This is a farm you create is a big investment. You're going to have to put a lot of time in order to get a lot of money out. You're not going to be on, oops, let's turn that off. You're not going to be on huge equipment from the get-go. You're really going to be working with small equipment. So there you go. So 24. So it cost me about 780 for the fertilizer I used. So I got paid about $1,000 effectively. That one's done. We can contract for transporting. There's a harvesting job. Oh heck, what is that? That's potatoes. I really don't want to do potatoes. They usually pay well, but the problem is it takes ages. Harvesting. That has potential. They're going to pay me $839 for doing that. Let's lease it and go with that. Hello, tractor. Hello, harvester. Let's jump out of the tractor and go and jump in the harvester, because we're going to have to put that header on the trailer. We get to drive a big giant combine harvester. It's green with a deer on the back. Actually, it's not that big. Yeah, I had similar concerns considering the amount of problems my old PC had running even some fairly recent games. So at least with my new PC, I know I'm going to be pretty much good for running most modern games for couple of years to come. Maybe more. Because obviously a couple of years to come is... yeah, in a couple of years' time I'm still going to be able to run new games on lower settings. So where are we going with this? Didn't notice 11. Where is 11? Okay. Out of the shop, turn left, turn right, and it's right there. Seems easy enough. Let's go. Okay, and you can't turn because the header is too close to the thing. So, hey, we're going cross country. Okay, to heck with this. Let's pull up at the side of the road. Oh, that header's falling off now. Let's drop the trailer there. Let's take the harvester to the field. Let's bring the header with the tractor. It's not far. Into the field a bit for now. Turn the engine off there. We'll go back to the tractor. I wonder if this will work. Will be neat if it does. So I won't have to make lots of trips. There's a hitch on the back of the trailer which may take the header trailer. Oh, too much, too much. Oh, how's about that then? Nice. This problem with headers is while the harvester does have a hitch on the back, it doesn't always work too well with the header trailer. Yeah, the trick when you're running low graphic settings is to pick the low graphic settings that are least objectionable to you. So there's a whole bunch of settings there, and you just pick the ones that, okay, this one I can't live without type of thing. So I'm going to make sure that setting is still at the higher level, but these settings I really don't care about, so they can be worse. Yeah, they can be at a lower setting. I don't think I can get to graphics settings outside of the options menu, so I can't demonstrate. But there's sort of render range and back up a little bit more. There we go. And hush. Okay, we turn this round, we go and run it in front of the harvester, and then we start the harvesting job. Hi Volvo. Oh, I've taken out another street sign. Ugh. We slot this in the front of there. Very carefully. Ah. So carefully. That's about right. Forwards. Okay. Missed the line up on that. These need to be a lot more precise. Oh! No, you can't pick up the header while the tractor's connected. Don't ask why. Why can't I pick up the header? Is the issue here? That is not detecting correctly. Seriously. Got that on the back, but it just will not. Picked up from the floor, it will not pick up from the field. So, how do we do this? Okay, let's reverse. Oops. Oh, that's bad. Stick it on the road. And take out the stop sign. Because why not? Jump back in the tractor. Header onto the road. That should give me a level surface. Still not going to let. Oh, there it was. Very briefly got a little pitch up note before I completely rammed it. There. Bingo. Gotcha. Good grief, that was hard work. Now, of course, the trailer's in the way, so they're still going to be upset. I should get that out of the way for them. Tractor up the hill. We're blocking the road. Well, I'm not doing well with this harvesting equipment thing. Yay, there, everybody's happy. here, hitch onto the trailer. That's done. Bingo. Back to the harvester and let's go. Well, FS17's well established. It's got a good supply of mods. Although I suggest start on probably Goldcrest and play for a short while on that. Get used to how stuff works and then pick some mods you're interested in and go from there. Goldcrest has a starting not tutorial but a sort of okay, here's your farm, here's your fields, go over to this tractor or go over to this harvester, connect the header onto it, now let's harvest some crop. Okay, you seem to have got the hang of that, now let's wander over to this tractor and you need to cultivate this field. You start that off, okay, you seem to have got the hang of that, now let's go over to this other tractor and start seeding your third field. And the equipment you have is very basic. You're going to want to change it pretty much immediately, but it's kind of not a big deal. You know, just practice with it for a short while, and then once you're happy that you've produced your first crop from those fields, you can then go back and say, okay, now I'm happy with this and I know what I'm looking for. I'm going to buy I'm going to download a mod map and play on that. Plus Goldcrest has a treasure hunt, so you can go out hunting 100 nuggets. I believe that's an achievement and it gives you $1 million. That pretty much allows you to buy a reasonable supply of mid-sized equipment. See how that works out for you. This is filling up fast. Some of the nuggets are on roofs of the buildings in town. There's a couple of options for that. You can either get yourself probably a telehandler and extend it up to the roof and then walk up it. So that gets you used to walking up and down equipment. The other option is what I did was I waited till a convenient rainstorm and then went into town and chopped over some trees so that they fell against the building roofs. And yeah, who could predict a storm would blow those trees over? And then of course I went into town and offered my services to haul the trees down and make them safe and sell the wood. At least that was my story. I am going to go over and get that bit I missed. Back up. Kind of surprised they don't want us baling the straw or something like that as well. Some of these harvesting missions can include extra jobs. on my Ravenport farm, I took a job for baling, and yeah, it was cut the grass, bale the grass. So I think you cut the grass, windrow the grass, bale the grass, collect the bale, wrap the bales, collect the bales, and sell them. And I think you needed to get about, what was it, 30 bales out of the field. And of course there's enough grass there to make 31. So the last bale is yours as bonus income. Okay, need to watch this because we're nearly full. Oh, that's that's clever, yes. I mean, obviously there's lots of different ways to do it. So I like that. I think one of them you could jump on the trash cart out the back of the store. But there were at least two that it was difficult to get to the roof that the nugget was on. Plus the nugget hunt gets you round and about, exploring new areas of the map that you wouldn't normally visit. Okay, I am guessing this trailer they've given us is about 21,000, 24,000 litres. So we're going to get at least 2 loads from the harvester in it. And this harvester can take 10,000 litres. So we're going to need to turn out and open that. Find the tractor again. Okay. Learn the game without first, because you need the fundamentals of sow a crop, harvest a crop, fertilize the crop, all sorts of stuff like that. So get the fundamentals out the way, because with seasons you can lose money if you do it wrong. You start the game out day 1 spring, and obviously from there you've got to prepare the fields, which could involve ploughing, cultivating, sowing. You've then got to run potentially up to 3 levels of fertilization if you're playing on hard mode, or if you select 3 levels of fertilization, and then you've got to wait until fall and then go out and harvest it. So until you know what you're doing, it's kind of a good idea to practice on a couple of fields and make sure that you're getting those stages down right. Because if you get to the fall and you forget to harvest and the winter comes, you just lost all that crop. So you've lost the money you invested in it. So we get just over 3 rows out of this thing. This field looks wider than another 3 rows, so we are going to have to ship to market and then come back again. And the same with animals. Obviously chickens don't die, you don't have to feed them, you just have to run around and collect their eggs every day. But sheep, cows, pigs, if you don't feed them, they will die in the seasons. If you don't feed them in the base game without seasons, then they won't produce as much stuff for you. So pigs will breed slower, sheep will breed slower and produce less wool, cows will produce less milk and breed slower. and of course if you play on Goldcrest without seasons, it's not going to spoil your excitement of discovering new stuff on a UK mod farm. I think apart from Lawfolds, most of the UK maps were produced by Oxygen David or Bullet Bill, and they are very good map producers. Was it Coldborough Park Farm, I believe? I believe that's Oxygen David's home stomping ground, where he grew up. So it's quite a good replica of a real life farm, and sometime around March he's going to be releasing that for Farm Sim 19, even more accurate than the 17 version. Of course, if you want to see what the farm looks like in real life, you want to play on easy mode, because that supplies you with the farm as is, whereas on what is it, Farm Manager, or what is it, Start From Scratch, you end up with having to place your own farm buildings. So it'll still look good, it's just that it won't look like what it does in real life, unless you know what it looks like in real life. What I haven't done so far is look at what the prices are on this farm. Okay, I think we go all the way to the end and get to turn around and come a little way back before we have to unload. And I think he and Bullet Bill sort of collaborate on the assets that they use on their farms. Primarily because they're I think because they're producing UK maps. You know, a lot of the buildings look exactly the same if you go out into the countryside in England. So, you know, it only takes one of them really needs to produce a row of houses for a village, and that'll double up for any village in England, almost. Okay, that's the end of that row. Really don't have to be careful with the straw, since we're collecting the straw is not part of the mission. The other thing I've noticed is while crop destruction is set on as a default, when you do contracts, crop destruction is negated on the field that you're doing the contract on. Keep pressing the wrong button. There we go. And tractor's still running. exactly are we driving here? 6145M. Oh, that's the one without the front attach. I believe there's a John Deere weight that you can attach to this, and that's it. So, is this a 21,000 litre trailer or not? And where are we selling this? Port, southeast. I'll do that over there. Oh, I don't actually have to do that because well, that's port southeast. It's got a little green circle around it. Not quite full, it's a 21,000 litre trailer. Okay. So I'm guessing we go past the shop. And the posts on the side of the road are decoration. Can drive straight through them, which is nice. The other mod crew I like is Black Sheep Modding, and they did Old Stream Farm, which they're redoing for Farm Sim 19. That was the one I played the two specials just before 19 was released, so last Sunday and the Sunday before. Oh. Okay, I lost. Where am I going? Okay, I don't want to turn left here. I could turn left here. That works. Okay. No, it stays over until you reload the map. So as soon as you log off, the little workmen come out. They put all the street signs up that you've knocked over. The same happened on Goldcrest. You knocked over street signs, and they'd be back the next time you loaded into the game. I think Sosnovka, the street signs are just images, they're not objects, so you can drive through them. So we want to go left here. And over the bridge. Oh! Whoa! Said, cars are solid objects, and we've just hit that one quite smartly. No, don't follow me, you stupid car. Thank you. Oh, hush. Okay, so currently I haven't found a map where the street signs don't get remounted, although I did drive in where was it? Yesterday evening I was playing Ravenport, and I went down into an area I have never been in before, and there was a tight turn, so there were lots of little single chevron signs pointing you around the corner, and all of them were down on one facing. So that, well, I didn't knock them over, so I'm guessing someone else did. 60% of the field is done. I'm going to hazard a guess that there is not quite 20,000 litres left on that field. And if 20,000 litres, well, thank you, 60%, what does that make 40,000 litres? No, 60, 20,000 is 60%. It's 3,000. About 13,000 litres to finish this, I'm guessing. And then anything over 13 is mine. Although I don't think I can take it and feed chickens with it. I can dip it into the sell point and they'll give me the money. 166,000 left, right here. Optional stop signs. Yep, that's the store. Left here. I did my first beet harvest on Goldcrest, the main road that runs east-west. There's a field opposite the road to the farm. I did that one. It's a big field. It took me 4 hours to harvest it. I shipped all of the beets back to the rail yard depot, and then I took them by train to the sell point on the railroad line. It wasn't the best price, it was a good price, and unfortunately I'd done 4 hours. I'd just loaded the train up and the game crashed, and so I had to go back to the middle of the harvest, which was my previous save point. So as soon as I finished harvesting it, I saved it, transported everything to the train yard, emptied it into the silo, loaded the train up, and managed to sell it without it crashing again. But from then onwards I always got into the habit of I need to save regularly, especially if I'm doing a harvest that's going to take me 4 hours. That was pretty much the point where I said, I don't think I'm ever going to voluntarily do beets again. At least not a big harvest. I'll do a small one enough to create a supply to feed pigs with. But you don't even need 30,000 litres of beets to feed pigs for 5 years. I think this is on 15-minute autosave, but I don't know if it autosaves or whether, because I've noticed whenever I go to the menu it doesn't autosave. So I don't know if you have to exit to the menu for the autosave to kick in, but you can go into and out of the menu multiple times. But as soon as it hits 15 minutes since the last save and you go into the menu, it says, okay, I need to save this now. So how are we doing? That was 1, 2, a lot of the next line. 17 does not have autosave, but there is an autosave mod. And I don't have it loaded, so I don't know how it's set up. But I would assume it's something like a, there's a setting screen and you can change auto save from sort of once every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. I think Daggerwing uses it, and every so often his game will pause and he'll say, oh, the autosave's just saving the game. This is a reasonable size harvester. The ones you start with are tiny. They've got sort of 10-14 foot headers. I'm guessing this one's probably about 25 feet. And that's usually what I consider to be a good working harvester for a while. Yeah, obviously I think in Farm Sim 17 you tend to end up with the case harvester that was modded in the first week on 19, and that I'm using on Estancia Lapacho, or Lapacho. That's your regular starting harvester for most maps, and 14 foot header is tiny. It's the width of the harvester. I tend to prefer something like 25, 30 foot, 35 foot, at least for a while, and then eventually you can get something in the sort of 40-45 foot range. But you got to remember, if you've got small fields, that a 45 foot header may not fit through the gate. You may not be able to pull it into the field and still attach it to the harvester without running over the crops. Not an issue if you don't have crop destruction on, but if you want to be slightly realistic, it's probably a wise idea to make sure that your harvester is at least sensible for the field that you're working. Same on this map, there aren't any fences around fields or anything like that, so having a big harvester isn't too much of a problem. But on law folds, where every field's surrounded by either a dry stone wall or a fence and hedging, a big harvester on a small field just doesn't work effectively. 6, 82, 88, 95, 10,000, stop. Back up. Extend the doodad. Go find tractor. So we're heading down the field, we'll be heading back up the field. Maybe I miss. Yeah, there's probably about 14,000 litres. No. 1.5. There's probably another 5,000 litres left on this field. Maybe a bit less. And I think they want 13 for the contract to be complete. since this is the only contract that gives you a bonus, I am going to clear the lot. So, run up here, park at the end. And I've got my new schedule up for this week. Now, we'll be joining Arthur tomorrow for World of Warships. Around about 7 o'clock start. Tuesday, I believe 9 o'clock. I may be a little bit earlier than 9, but I have to go out. So maybe about 9 o'clock. I'll be doing Estancia La Pacha again, Farm Sim 19. Same again on Thursday at 8. And then on Friday we'll be doing Ravenport with Arthur and friends. Saturday morning is Lawfolds. Sunday is as I feel that feel like doing something. This afternoon I played a few hours of World of Warships. This evening I'm doing this. Okay, do you think I should revise my estimate of 15,000 litres on this field? I am Eastern Times. Currently Eastern Standard. Because the clocks did whatever they do in November. Park too close. That's nice. Turn it off. Oh, I didn't look. Done. And no, you can't fold up the harvester once it's used. — 14,259 litres. Not 15. So we've done 3 fertilizing missions contracts and 1 harvesting contract. And I am poor because I bought a field. Okay. Sound damping in the tractors is really good. Either that or I've got the sound turned way down. Oops, there's another signpost. And here we are. Somewhere on the right. There's a BP turn signal. Okay, so let's see when we start making money on this. Oh, there we go. $703 from harvest income. Nice. Saving content, please wait. 2,300, so we got 3,000 minus the 840 for leasing plus the sale of extra product. So there's a bunch more jobs. It's Santa. It's Santa again. Oh. So there's an entire page. Oh, there's a... where is it? Okay, so that one, baling. Mow the grass in field 30, bale the grass, wrap it to make silage bales and then sell them. Looks like we get a nice big Valtra. Where the front, rear mowers. Anyway, I now need to go back to the store and start buying equipment. What should I buy? I don't have enough money for one of those. Any mod? No. So, we can't buy huge stuff. That doesn't have a front linkage. No, that doesn't have a front linkage, so I kind of don't want one of those. I think that one doesn't either. Oh no, that one does. That's a nice little tractor. Engine setup. Ooh, lots of power. How much does that cost? More than I have. Okay. So we're going to want small tractors. Typically I've selected Valtra N as my starter. 110 horsepower, 105 horsepower, 102 horsepower. That won't go any bigger. Engine. That goes all the way up to 130. I don't want the armour track because that really isn't that good. That goes up to 138. You can get it in green or other green. So I could go for the Fendt. Wheel brand. You have the Nokian. Come Usual tyres, wheel weights, wide with weights, rear twins, narrows. Rear narrow twins. Take a look at that. That inside tyre does not look like a narrow. And what's next? Standard. So I could buy one of those. That's 125,000. I've got 169. That's not going to work for me. So maybe I do want the Massey Ferguson. 130 engine, that's 100,000. Regular tyres, standard, front loader, that's 102,000. Back, no, that mower there's 19,000. So I've got 50,000 left. Oops, back, and loading wagons, that's 46. Requirements on that 95. Back. Requirements on the mower 70. You kind of want 165 horsepower tractor, which none of those are. 130. That's 150. And very cheap. That's 100. What's that one? 150. That has potential. Still only 95. That's the 500 Favorite. T5. Engine 117. That's not going to work. I'm thinking we get the old Fendt. In fact, I'm thinking we no, the 300 Favorite or the 500 Favorite. I don't think there's anything in medium tractors that is going to stand out. No. Okay. So, small tractors. That one there. Biggest engine you can fit. With a front loader. 95,000. That works. Buy that tractor. Back. Select that mower. Front thing. That's 19,000. Loading wagons. 46. Buy, yes, okay, back. Train, truck, tractor. Yay, hi tractor. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, that would make things realistic. Here is your bill from the local council for knocking down all the street signs. So, basically a nice cheap setup with a relatively high powerful tractor. I bought the front loader for the front loader attacher for it because I am going to need a front loader and a flatbed trailer and pallet forks to do transport missions. This is an old tractor. I think this tractor was built around the 1990s, early 90s. Which is why it's so cheap. It wasn't natively available for Farm Sim 17, but it was produced as a mod, and the Favorite 300 was also produced as a mod on Farm Sim 17. As with everything, because I bought a grass field, I'm looking for something that I can cut the grass, and a tractor that I can haul the grass cutting equipment with. And obviously, if I was unable to do that now, I mean, doing this with the smaller tractor, I can haul this stuff up the hill like this, because I've got a front attacher and a rear attacher. But if I had, say, the Fendt 300, which I believe is more expensive than this, for less horsepower, when I get to the field, when I want to cut it, I would have to cut the field and then go around and collect the grass. With this one, there is a good possibility that I can cut the grass and pick it up all at the same time. Oh, there's a shot of the castle over there. There's me driving on the wrong side of the road again. And I only have one flashing beacon. Because I own that field, I can always make extra money by cutting the grass around it. Although I can't fertilise it. And I can't fertilise it anyway, because while I have fertiliser, I don't have a fertiliser bin on the back of the tractor. I've only got $9,000 left. Should be euros. Lifted my foot off the throttle because now it's struggling. This is the sort of hill truckers hate. Oops. No, come back. Thank you. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, let's go again. The other thing I miss is the mod that puts the real time at the top right hand side of the screen. Anyway, it looks like it's coming up to 11 o'clock. I don't know where the barn is on this map either. Okay, that doesn't seem to have any problems cutting grass and collecting at the same time. So the grass I'm currently cutting is free. The grass on the right is field grass, which can be, what's the word for it, fertilised, and may grow weeds and other such fun things. Don't know if weeds grow outside of fields. That's going to be interesting to discover. using this setup, you don't want to turn the mower too hard, because there's going to be a strip of grass that you're never able to pick up with the trailer. Now this grass on the outside looks far more mature than the grass in the field. So we'll cut this stuff first. Mature grass yields more. The grass in the field hasn't been fertilised, so it's not like it's going to produce more either. Oh, hello. I don't think I want to go down there. And I don't think my tractor can make it up this hill. Ooh, yes it can, but I'm not. Now this is where I want the 200 horsepower tractor. Or maybe not be such a fool. One of the two. There we go. As the land levels out, and I definitely don't want to drive sideways along that hill. Already done that. You can roll a tractor down the side of the hill like you can roll a tank in World of Tanks these days. This is some rough ground. Ah. Yeah, but I like to have more than 5k in the bank, especially once I start owning equipment. No big deal, I can do some more jobs and then buy the equipment. In actual fact, if I... well... I'm not sure how usable the Kernland would be because of its size. It's only got a 7,000 or 700 litre capacity. And if I want to use a spreader for contracts, fertilisation contracts, it's probably better to get the Kuhn. We've almost got a full tank of, or a full trailer load of grass here. Quantity on this is 23,000 litres. We're already up to 20. Okay, note, do not go down the bottom. Keep this thing rolling. Get up that hill. Go, 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 go. And we're up to 22,000 litres. 1,000 more litres and I can stop cutting grass. We'll go and sell this at the barn. And then I'm going to call it a night. Because I have to work tomorrow. But starting from scratch, we have a tractor, we have a truck. Not sure what I'm going to use the truck for. Probably shouldn't have bought the truck. Oh. And we're cutting grass that we don't need to, because because we're not collecting it anymore. Yeah, there's a bit of a strip of grass back there. Oh, come on. Actually, this is another kind of realistic thing. Actually, we're crushing all this grass now because I've got standard tyres on this thing. That's why you get a front mower and not a rear mower. Plus you can drag the wagon behind you. The thing is if you don't get a front mower, your tractor tyres will mess up the grass. Okay, I can't see the top thing there. So that's the grass cutter done. Now we want to find the barn. Barn. I'm guessing that's grass. We're not going to get a lot of money for this. That's probably hay. Oh, or maybe it's grass. I don't know. I can't tell anymore. Maybe it's only 36 we're getting. And I've highlighted the barn. It looks like it's all the way over there. Hey! New scenery! Out the way, birdie. Oh, and the road gets narrow and goes down a hill. Whee! This is quite a heavy load. I'm not sure how realistic the braking physics are on this. I probably don't want to be racing around at 32 miles an hour. Should be driving in kilometers an hour since I'm on Europe. That is... picture worthy. Good grief. I guess it's not as bad as some of the cliff-hugging roads in South America. Whereas you drive down the road, you're dropping boulders off the edge as the road crumbles under your wheels. I'm glad this isn't a traffic road. I'd hate to meet cars coming up this hill. Or going up the hill with cars coming down. Oh, there's a bridge. Oh, it's the railway. Cool. Okay, we're at the bottom of the hill. Where are we going? Oops. We're at the bottom of the hill. We want to go across the train line. Huh. Where do we want to go? Yes, we want to go across the train line, turn right at field 9. Oh, this gets messy. Okay, leave the map up. Across the train line, that's a good start. Then turn right. No, don't turn right after field 9, so we're still going downhill. Someone's got a satellite dish on their house. Okay, right at field 9. Here we are at field 9. Here's the right-hand turn. And we follow this road down and take the next left. Oh, there's cars. Left. This is the next left? Seriously? Okay. This is not a road. Okay. And then we turn left at the end. Well, we're not powering the equipment right now, so it's just 150 horsepower to overcome the trailer load, which I think this tractor can probably do. It might not do it at 32 miles an hour. But it's certainly behaving itself quite nicely. Then we turn right here. There must be a quicker way to the barn. Seriously. Maybe I should have crossed the other side of the train tracks again. Here we are. Interesting looking truck. Yeah! Takes out another road sign. Because these roads aren't exactly flat. Not faring too badly. And the barn is just up here on the right. Oh yeah, I've seen this in other people's videos, so this is the barn sell point. Grass. Okay, so what is it? We've got 23,000. So 23 times whatever we make, or divide what we make by 23. Went up to 10,000. It's not bad. 1,046. That's $45.50 per litre, per 1,000 litres. Oops, wrong. This is grass. So that would make probably, well, that could be hay or straw. I don't know. I'm guessing that's silage. So getting a, well, yeah, okay. I was going to say, getting a bale wrapper would be really good, except we don't have a baler. So getting a bale wrapper would be a completely pointless exercise. So there we go. Turn the wheel to the right, and the trailer will swing out to the left. And turn the wheel to the right, and the trailer will follow me. So that really does appear to be the best route. Can't be. That takes you up to the biogas plant. Huh, okay. I do? Oh yes, yes, I do get the icon. Yes, I do get the icon. So I could have been a little bit more observant, like walking into the middle of the field to find out what the crop is. Oh, and it's 6 o'clock game time. So at least now I have $10,000. But the other thing I want is a front loader attacher, or front loader arms and pallet fork, and the flatbed trailer. And that's going to set me back a fair amount too. I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way. Yeah, like that. I think game day tomorrow I want to then run a bunch of other contracts again. Make some more money. And buy a little bit more equipment. And I may look into, if I do a fertilizer mission, let's buy the fertilizer tender at the back. I can now afford the Kuhn fertilizer spreader. So if I can get a job to use it, then that'll justify buying it. I can use the fertilizer I already have, so it won't be in that won't be part of the expense, at least not the initial expense for doing a fertilizer contract. I will have to convert to narrow tyres in order to, well, actually I won't have to convert to narrow tyres, because it appears that crop destruction is turned off when you do a contract, at least in the contract fields. Okay, you're going that way. I'm going to go past the BGA, which is right here. Oh, no stopping or parking. Okay. Guess we should keep driving then. Oh, and this goes right through the middle. Actually, I think that's the port facility on the left. The BGA is on the right here. Yeah, those are the silage clamps. So that's another option, is to bring the grass here, clamp it, although I don't have anything to pick the grass up with and ship it, or the silage up with and ship it. These trailers aren't silage capable. So up here and turn left just before the train line. Yeah. There's the train again. So this is my turn. Eee. I think this hill is worse than the hill up to Goldcrest Field 1. That's a forestry area. Oh, that actually looks like it's a cut through. I don't actually have to go around this. Although I'm guessing the dirt track up there is going to be a lot steeper than this. This is frightfully steep already. This here, that cuts straight down to the last bend. You can just see it between the trees. Turn. Oh, that's kind of steep. But we're nearly at the top. Just like Estancia La Pacha, I have picked probably the most remote area of the map possible. Here we are, born to be kings. Oh, and there's the rail line there. But I don't think there's a depot up here that we could transfer stuff to. Okay, pull forward a little, and we can turn the beacon off, we can turn the engine off, we can jump out and run over here. What are the options for this? Fasten, unfasten belt, unfold car. Oh yeah, you can unfold the car. That's cool. The problem is we don't have follow me, so I can't actually bring a tractor with a front loader with me and load it into the back of the pickup. I'm going to assume this is a guest house. We're going to stay here for the night. kind of convenient. And there we go. Jump out. And let's go over here and say, hey, have you got room for the night? And I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your weekend if you have one. And I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, evening for a bunch of World of Warships battles.